Let me ask you a quick question. If India produces the most engineers in the world, then why are there so many graduate unemployed people in our country? Why are the companies saying we can't find good people, and while millions of graduates are saying we can't find good jobs? Same country, same people, but why is this happening? There is zero connection between this. Today, we are going deep into this problem that why is this happening? And I'm not here to just rant about the education system at all. I'm 17 and I'm still inside it. But I have spent some serious time understanding this problem by researching. And more importantly, I'll tell you how you can fix this. What you can do right now. Not after college, not after job, but right now in the present. Let's start with something wild. India's gross enrollment ratio in the higher education was 9.5% in year 2000. By 2022, it became 28%. That's three times more students in the colleges. Sounds amazing, right? But here's the problem. More seats didn't mean more learning. It meant more colleges were opened, many of them were private, and many of them with zero industry connections. And almost all of the teaching methods were exactly the same from the last 10 years or the 15 years. The same syllabus and the same curriculum. I want you to think about what was happening 15 years ago. Instagram didn't exist, AI, ChatGPT, all of them didn't exist. Cloud computing was barely a thing. And thousands of colleges in India are still teaching the curriculum of that era, yaar, while the companies are hiring for skills that were invented only last year. Don't you think that's a huge year? Here's something that your seniors probably have told you before. Don't study for the full exam or the full textbook. Just get the last 10 years question papers done. Memorize all those answers, you'll pass. I know that this is called rectification, and he was also right. That way, how you pass most Indian university exams, that is very popular. It's called mugging up, and it's literally taught you as a survival strategy. But here's what nobody tells you: the moment you walk out of the exam hall, that knowledge becomes worthless, because a hiring manager isn't going to give you a 10-year question bank. They're going to give you a real problem and they'll ask you to solve that, and you will not be able to do that if you are just cracked all those exams just through rectification and all. That's the first layer of the problem. Let's call it the paper degree. Now let's go into something deeper. Okay, so here are some real numbers that we need to talk about now. According to the Mercer Metal Indian Graduate Skill Index 2025, only 42.6% of the graduates in India are actually employable. The data comes from over a million students in India from 2,700 campuses. So this isn't a small sample, this is literally India. Meaning, if you put 100 Indian graduates in a room, 57 of them would not get hired for a standard corporate job. This is scary. But here is something where it gets more interesting and even more depressing also. The skills that are falling are not technical skills. Technical skills are actually improving. What's collapsing is actually communication, problem solving, critical thinking, and teamwork. The things that you can literally not learn from a textbook of college, and the things that Indian colleges almost never ever teach. So here is something I want you to genuinely think about. If your college entire assessment is multiple choice exams or theory papers, then how are you supposed to develop these skills like running the meeting, pitch an idea, or debugging a real problem or a real system? Don't you think this is scary? Again, drop your answers in the comments if you need. But there's an even darker side to the story. That is the experience problem. Freshers in India would have definitely heard this. We need someone with 2 years of experience for an entry level job. 2 years of experience for an entry level job, guys, that's literally a contradiction, right? And so what happens then? Students graduate, realize that their degree isn't enough, pay again for a private certification, a boot camp, a finishing school, sometimes another 50,000 or 1 lakh rupees for that private certification after already paying a very hefty amount for that 4 years college degree. That's not education, that's a subscription model for a broken system. Now, here's the part that really frustrates me when I found this out. It's not just about students not learning, it's about the system being designed to not care if you learn or not. Let me explain. How do most Indian universities measure if a professor is good at their job or not? Not by placement rates of the students, not by whether graduates can actually get hired by them, but by research papers, academic journals, citations, conference presentations, etc. So here's the incentive breakdown. Professors get rewarded for writing papers that nobody reads, not for making sure that his students can get job or not. Students get rewarded for memorizing these notes and passing exams, not for building actual skills. College gets rewarded for enrollment numbers, not for graduate outcomes. So Can you literally see that no one actually cares about the students? This is again a very bad failure of the system itself. And one more thing that nobody talks about, credential inflation. Because everyone now has a degree, companies have started filtering the candidates out by the college brands. IIT, IIM, NIT, okay, maybe we can take them. But random private universities of tier 3 city, straight to the bottom of the pile. We'll not take them. Even if that person is actually better. Let me show you how it affects students. Let's take the example of all the students who are doing engineering in India. Only 10% of the engineering students actually graduate from a tier 1 or tier 2 college. That is IIT, NIT, triple IT, etc. But 90% of the students who are doing it from a normal tier 3 college, where will they go? Like companies will never hire them, as I said above. Now let me give you a real scenario. Two students of same age studying from a tier 2 college. Student A, BCA from a private college, 7.8 CGPA, zero projects, zero internships. Student B, BCA from a same college, 6.2 CGPA, three freelance websites, one internship, GitHub profile. Whom do you think will get the job? Just think for a second. Obviously, student B every time. But student A spent 4 years believing his marks were the currency. They're not anymore. This is a thing that you need to learn and you need to maybe note it down in your mind. Okay, hold on. I see you. You might be thinking, cool, I get it. The system is broken. So, what do I actually do about it? How do I actually care? I'm just a normal student. Because if the video ends at the system bad, good luck, that's useless to both of us. The next 2 minutes, the fix section might be the most important thing that you hear today. So, stay. I promise it's worth it. All right, here is the thing. You can't change the education system by yourself, but you can completely opt out of its limitations. And here are three specific things that can actually work. Fix one, build a proof portfolio, not just a resume. Companies don't care about what you have studied, they care about what you have built. They need proof. A resume says, I know web development, but a portfolio says that here are three websites that I have made. Here is the code. You can see this, and this is the proof. Which one is more convincing to you? Start now, even if you are in the first year. Build something, anything, document it. A GitHub profile, a Behance page, a Notion portfolio, free tools, zero investment. You can do it for free. Your proof will become your new degree. Okay, fix two. Micro credentials. Spend 6 weeks, not 4 years. This is the one that companies are actually looking at right now. Google Career Certificates, Coursera, LinkedIn Learning, NPTEL, a 6 week Google Data Analyst certificate can do more for your salary than a 2 year MBA. I'm not exaggerating. I've seen the placement stories on internet. The point is that you don't need to wait for college to teach you what the industry needs. The internet has already built the curriculum. You just need to have a dive into that and actually figure that what you have to study now. Fix three, the identity shift. This is the important one. This one is psychological, but it works. Most of us think our learning habits like this. I need to stop being lazy. I need to stop scrolling and start studying. I'm trying to be more disciplined. The framework almost never works because trying to stop is not an identity. It's a struggle. Here's the reframe that you need to know now. Instead of I'm trying to build this, say I'm someone who builds skills. Instead of trying to do internship, say that I'm not someone who sits at home while others are building experiences. That's not motivation, that's identity. And identity is way harder to break than motivation. Because if you see yourself as someone who builds things, you open your laptop and work even when you don't feel like to do that. There's a difference between people who escape broken systems and the people who gets crushed by them. Now here is a simple question that I need to ask you before we wrap up. If the degree is not just a filter and skills are actually the currency, that what is the one skill that you know you need to build but haven't started yet? Write it in the comments. Hold yourselves accountable. I'll read them. Okay, so here is the bottom line. India has a supply chain problem. The education system is building or manufacturing products the market doesn't need. And the only person who can bypass this gap is you intentionally. So share this video with one friend who just finished college or is in the last year, not to scare them, but because they need to hear this before they are going to send out 40 more resumes into the void. And if you believe that knowing what is broken is the first step to fix it, then you should subscribe this channel because that is exactly what we are trying to do every week in on this channel. Write one sentence in the comment that I'm not someone who do the dash, and in this dash you have to fill your own identity shift that you will have to do. That's your homework. I'm Samarth and I'm learning this too, and I'll see you in the next video. Okay, bye.